All right, everyone, I'm back. 2023 Honda Accord Touring Hybrid, platinum white. Just got back from the car wash. Just did a 0 to 60 run in sport mode. Results were pretty good. Dude, this color is sick. I left the lights on so we could see the whole LED lights. Still got kind of some dirt on it from driving it. The blower wasn't taking all the water off the car. But I'm going to take it in to get ceramic coated. Let me zoom out. I'm going to take it in to get ceramic coated soon. I'm hoping about taking this to Ohio next weekend. I don't know if my wife was going to let me. She loves this car and she really wants to drive it. So, I mean, I'd like to do a fuel economy test with it, because I'm going 485 miles or something like that. So it's mostly highway though, so we'll have to see what mileage I can get. I think a lot of people want to see. Did I leave the music on in here? Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of dirty inside. I got the all-weather floor mats for it. I mean, I got that just for the simple fact that, you know, your shoes are always muddy and everything. 19-inch wheels. Michelin tires on these. Let me tell you something. I was just wailing around in sport mode. Went around some turns that were pretty sketchy at about 80 miles an hour on a closed road. And I'm actually really surprised that a car this size can handle that good. I know it has a lot to do with the tires. Leather interior. But yeah, I mean, going from a 2014, this hood release, man. Me and this hood release we're not on the right page here. There we go. There you go. There's the business end of it. So you got a 2-liter dual red cam Atkinson cycle engine. And produces, I don't know, 158 horsepower or something. And here's your electric motor packed down in here. That's 180 horsepower or something like that, 160 foot-pounds of torque. Don't quote me on none of these numbers. Doesn't really matter. The car is plenty fast for what most people will need. We've been averaging about 45 to 55 miles per gallon. Yeah, it's like a contest to see who can get the most mileage between me and my wife when we drive back and forth to the store. I've seen as high as 95 with a lot of electric mode going back and forth. So, I'm noticing some nuts in here. What's up with that? There's freaking squirrels up in here? That's all I need. Everything is extremely tight packaged. I mean, there's some room in here, but you're not going to work on one of these. This is one of these things that goes to the dealer only. And that's why you know, a lot of newer vehicles, people say, oh, you know, you can't fix that, can't work on it. Who's working on this? Nobody's working on this. Maybe the new mechanics, but the thing is if you don't know how to work on these newer hybrid cars, I mean, not everything's a 1980s Chevy. Let's be honest. If you own a shop, you have to have the right tools and everything to work on these cars and the know-how. I mean, that's why the dealership's getting $165 an hour. You know, $165 an hour to fix these things. Would I want to own this car out of warranty? Would you want to own any new car out of warranty? These are the things I tell people all the time, and I go on my videos, and everybody comments and says, oh, I wouldn't want to own that out of warranty. Oh, it's going to cost $1 million to fix it. Everything's expensive. It don't matter what you buy. I have a 2013 F-150 and a 2013 250. And you know how much a transmission rebuild is at? $6,000. You know, so let's be honest. Everything's expensive. And that's if you can find somebody to rebuild it that knows how to do it. Or can actually rebuild it and make it last. Because I've heard horror stories of people getting their transmissions rebuilt and, you know, spending $8,000, $9,000. And let's be honest, it get 30,000 miles out of it. So, everybody's got something to say. Everybody's haters. I mean, I know the newer cars are harder to work on. But this car is pretty simple. What are you really going to change? Everything's electronic in these newer cars. Well, you're going to have to put a battery in. You might have to take it for plugs or something. But this car is covered under warranty. And I'm never going to change nothing on it. I'm going to get rid of it way before that. I'd rather just pay the $600 a month, and I don't even have to do oil changes. I only have to do tire rotations. I just drive it and bring it into them. I mean, it's better than paying, for an oopsie, when something breaks. That's the way it is nowadays. Is this car going to last 10 years? There's still some hybrid cars from Honda and Toyotas out there. Look at some of these Priuses with 200,000 miles. I see them all the time. Would I buy it used with 200,000 miles on it? Hell no. Everybody, the batteries are expensive because this has a lithium battery. They're all batteries, hybrid. And everybody says, go back to this and that, and it's not going to happen. Everybody wants it the way they want it. They don't understand that everything's going smaller engines. At least this doesn't have a turbocharger. This isn't a turbocharged engine. This is just a little 4-cylinder, little Atkinson cycle, which is a weird little, 5-stroke system it does for scavenging, for more efficiency. And that's just the way it's going due to the, not carb regulations. What is it? CAFE regulations or something? They have to make them to get better fuel economy. That was the government's crap. That was the EPA crap. They did that. Not the companies. They forced the companies into doing things like this. They did that years ago. That was when Toyota really started doing with the hybrids and everything. And everybody else followed suit. Look at all the newer trucks. Dodge don't even have a V8 no more. All they have is an inline 6 turbo. Look at new Mazdas. I just seen they came out with a turbocharged inline 6 because no more big V6s or anything. And they're all going smaller, 3-liter, 2-liter. Look at the 150s. You got 3.5 EcoBoost. The 5-liter is a great engine. 5-liter Coyote V8. That's going out the window. Look at the Hemis are dead in the Dodges. Right there's the last year of the Dodge Hemis. And that's why we bought that one. That was not me. That's my father-in-law. He said he wanted a new truck, so I told him get that one, not the V6 one or the 6-cylinder, because this truck is a V8 and it's a lot more simple. That's an e-torque model, by the way, which is a little mild hybrid starting system in it. So that's just the way everything's going. I mean, get with the times. I know these things are expensive, and I know the maintenance on them. The maintenance on this is less, but when something does break, that's when you're going to get crushed on it. But would I own it used? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't own any of them, not even a Toyota used, because I've heard horror stories about AC pumps that are $4,000 and $3,000. These cars out of warranty. The only way you buy one of these cars is if it has a factory extended warranty or something. I went from a 2014 Honda Accord, 148,000, not a single problem. I did plugs, wires, I did front brakes and rotors on it twice. Not wires, I mean serpentine belt. I did change the shark fin antenna on it because it had water in it, which was later a recall, which I got paid for. And what else did I change on it? Nothing. So it was on stock suspension. It was there's no struts or shocks on it, and it rode buttery smooth. No wheel bearings, not even a front end alignment on the car the whole time I owned it. Living in Northeast Pennsylvania. So, I mean, that was an awesome car, and that was why I know I wanted another Honda Accord. I bought that 2014 used. That was someone's lease return. And I bought that car, and it was just a joy to have. That was an EXL. But this being a touring model, this has everything. And that one wasn't a hybrid. That one had the 2.4 K-Series in it. Earthstreams. It's like 185 horsepower or something like that. And that was a CVT. That's the other thing. You guys that go on about CVTs saying they're all junk. They're not all junk. I had almost 150,000 on my last one, and I only serviced it once, which I wasn't supposed to do. I was supposed to actually service it a little bit more. I think it's supposed to be every 60 or 80,000. I did it at 100,000 fluid change, and then that was it. I only did one fluid change on the CVT, and I had them when I took it to the dealership and they inspected the belt and they told me everything was good. But CVT transmissions aren't bad if you buy them from the right companies. Like Nissans are terrible. The old Ford ones were terrible. The Subaru ones are horrific. Those new Subaru ones are just, they're just next level crap. I mean, I've seen some of them new Subaru ones, 60,000 and blow up. But then look at the new Jeeps. Look at some of the newer Ford trucks and stuff. They have, some had problems, some don't. It's like the roll of the dice. You never know what you're gonna get. But at least if you buy a Honda or a Toyota, Mazda's pretty good. I'm not even gonna say Kia or Hyundai. You guys can fight about that in the comments. That's a hell no, and that's a pass. I watch a guy on TikTok. He's changed over 50 motors so far since the beginning of the year. And just type in Hyundai Motors, Honda motor problems, and you'll see him pop up. He's the first one that pops up on TikTok. I don't even remember his name, but he's a mechanic. He's got a board where he writes off how many he's done, and he's done Sonatas, Elantras, and Kia Stingers. They're all just junk. They're nice and they're fancy and they look really good. You get a lot for your money, but for the money I paid for this, I could have went a little bit more and got a Kia Stinger, which would have been faster and everything. But one, it wouldn't get as much mileage. Two, their value on them tanks like a rock, like their resale value tanks on them. So if you lease it or you buy it within 3 years and it gets 40, 50,000 miles on it, ain't gonna be worth crap. It'll probably have a motor put in it by then. They're just junk. I'm not a Kia and Hyundai fan. You know, they paint them up nice and they put all these options in them for your money, and you think that, you know, you're going to get something that's going to last. And yeah, maybe some people out there might say, oh, I got 150,000, I don't have a problem. Like I said, luck of the draw. But look how many recalls they've had, and look how many issues they have. Just do a look online. And I'm not saying, I mean, this is a brand new car. It doesn't even have 1,000 miles on it. We just had 1,000 miles on it, and I just put $25 in gas in it. That's what it costs to drive all week back and forth to work. And we came here to my father-in-law's house, and I just went for a high-speed run, and I just put 60 miles on it, drive back and forth, because I don't get to drive it much. So, I mean, how can you go wrong with $25? And it's $3.71 a gallon up here in Pennsylvania. The price just went up. So if it was down about $2 a gallon, you wouldn't spend you'd probably spend about $15 a week in this car. Insane. But yeah, this is just a little rant on cars and everything, and showing off the new car. I keep posting videos, but this is just a sweet car. I mean, I wanted one. I didn't want white, but I'm kind of glad I got white. The bluish color is the hardest one to get, I heard, in the touring hybrids. So I'm going to get a couple options here for it. I'm going to get the back. There's a mat that goes in the back of the trunk, because we were hauling meatballs. My wife made meatballs and sausage and stuff, and we had the crock pots in the back, and I had to like wedge them in, and I didn't want nothing to spill in this car. I'm trying to keep it as pristine as possible. So I'm going to get that, and I think I'm going to get the little wing. They make a little wing, and I can get it in black. I'll have the factory install it right here. It's a little wing. It's not really high. It's just like only like an inch or two, but I think it'll set it off. I can get these badges in black too. This Motor World sticker's got to come off. Sorry guys, I promote you, but I don't like those things on there. But yeah, sweet ride, man. If you want to see what this car can get going on a 400-mile trip, you know, what if I can make 480 miles? Think I could do it in one trip? This only has a 12-gallon fuel tank, so if I go out there and back, I should be able to do it. Let me know what you think. Oh, by the way, the car is on and running right now. It's just silent because since it's a hybrid, the engine doesn't have to run. I can get in it right now and move it. Here, I'll show you guys before I take off. Like, the car is on. Like, look, I didn't need to push the start button. I'm just gonna look, driving. And you see the gauge? All electric mode. That was from the last blast I just did. It was 36 miles per gallon. Turn the radio down so I don't get demonetized. And as you see, it's got 1,100 and something miles. I was playing Akon. But alright. Alright guys, if you want to see more on this car, there hasn't been a lot of like there's a lot of reviews on these cars, but there's not a lot of like owners reviews. And I'm gonna do another review when it gets to like 5,000 miles and stuff like that, and when I take it to the dealership for its first initial service and everything, which I don't have to pay for. So we're gonna see how long this car can really go. I think I'm only gonna keep it for about 3 years. Then I just want something new. I might get the new plug-in hybrid Accord or something. Who knows? They might be all electric by then. Everything's going electric and everything. I know a lot of people don't want them, but it's what you're going to get 10 years from now. That might only be what's on the market is electric and hybrids. So, all right. Peace out, man. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.